Bum 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 bum.
Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. I'm FuFuCuddilyPoof, and this is level 135. Joining me tonight is Elliot.
Hello, Kenny.
See, not only did you get your own intro, but I also let you go first.
No, I need to go last so I can prepare something funny to say.
Too late.
Oh,
And we also have Nate.
Dad jokes. Say that.
Hello. Making finger guns. Boo boo pew.
If only this was the live show. And we also have Corey.
Howdy do, friendo.
I should also nice.
He's Southern, you guys
wait a
know.
minute. What am I doing? I answered this wrong. This isn't... We're the dad cast now. I already forgot my own joke. We are the dad cast. It is true. This is the dad cast.
I mean, Nate might be our daddies, but you're not my daddy.
Whoa.
Well, that's one way to start
Where's
the show.
that daddy voice?
Hello. I had to pull out the daddy voice. Not that daddy voice. I had to pull out the you're in trouble voice.
Who's your daddy? Oh, where am I? Huh.
That's what I was wondering.
Here I am.
With the way to start.
Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. What band is that, Kenny?
Poison.
You're close. It's definitely a poisonous creature. Nate.
All right.
Nate.
White snake.
It's also a Mortal Kombat character who tells you to get over here.
Sub-Zero.
Scorpion?
Okay, good.
Raiden.
Oh, man, okay.
It's the Scorpions. Yes.
Now-
Goodbye.
I've never
Take you to
heard
music.
of it.
I'm going to make a new
Never
podcast,
heard
Music
of this-
101.
Oh my god.
I've heard that song, but I didn't.
It's fine. Just
All right.
just-
Wait, you didn't actually know that? Are you for real, or are you just trolling?
No, like I know a lot of, I know a lot of those bands in that era, but I don't know. I recognize.
And you don't know Scorpions?
I recognize the name now that I'm looking at it, but I wouldn't have said Scorpion as a band.
You know a lot of music from that era, and you don't know the Scorpions. That's like one of the biggest bands of that era.
Well, I'm getting older, Kenny, and the first thing to go is the memory.
I'm the youngest one here, and I know that. And I don't even listen to half that stuff in that era.
Well, you just have like a 3-week-old, so it's coming.
You'll get there.
All right. Well, enough of
What the-
whatever that intro is. Let's get on with the game showcase. Let's get into something fun. Screw the script. Let's go to Corey first. What have you been playing?
Screw the script. Means I'm not ready, right?
Exactly. I
So-
got to keep you guys on your toes.
Yeah.
Your dad reflexes are kicking in. They're too slow. I got to get them back.
No, dad reflexes are on point. Computer reflexes are slow. Because what's the mouse? Anyways,
that chair
surprise,
is upside
surprise.
down, Corey.
Yeah, there's another one over here. I gotta get a burn barrel to get rid of those things. I got new chairs. I got new metal chairs.
You can have burn barrels?
Metal.
Yeah, and they're hard to find. People want them.
Scaring me.
Hot commodity. Literally.
Dad joke.
Anyways,
Wait, can we not have burn barrels in Maryland? Because I totally have one.
I have never heard of whatever.
Depends
you're
where you
talking
live.
About, so
Well, that's because you're in New York.
Is it
There's
country-ish?
Nowhere to burn things.
Every street corner is a burn barrel in New York, from what I've seen.
it's kind of related to housework, and I don't think you have to do any of that.
It's a barrel where you burn things.
You burn everything.
You really do. Plastics, rubber,
No.
carpet.
No.
Hairspray bottles.
Unused drugs. No.
So yeah, let's escape out of this derail.
and venture into my game that has the word escape in it? Yeah, I got you. So, no surprise, I'm playing more Vayners, Metroidvania games for those new to that term. And this week's title is Escape from Tethys. Now, this is a more unknown game. It is published by Sometimes You, which you might think is an easy game, but this one does not fit that mold. So that is probably one reason why there's not a lot of people who have played this game. On TA, there's only 127 of us who have put it on our tag. And I am the first friend on my list that has played it. Don't count the other 4 people I'm looking at because they play every game and dive it. So they don't count. So I'm the first. And this game it's tough. It is, it's kind of a difficult action adventure Metroid game, that you are like this scientist, and you're developing new weapons and technology, but then things go bad. And so I'm like traversing through this map, through different parts of different terrains. And then, there's like a building you kind of go through. Anyways, I'm traversing all of this, and there are bosses lined up and treacherous paths and enemies going throughout the game. And I'm collecting different pieces of this tech. Double jump is one of them. Slow fall is one of them. Wall grabs. And then there are also weapons that you can pick up, like a rail gun and a grenade. And then this thing that just throws fire across the entire screen and burns it all. Has all the great stuff for a Metroidvania game. And I'm glad I'm talking about it now versus probably 24 hours ago, because I wasn't really jonesing for this game. It's kind of difficult, and at least it was difficult in the path that I took. I could probably have searched more and try to get more of the collectibles, which are upgrades to your health and ammo that you can carry of the special weapons. For your general gun that you carry with you, it's unlimited ammo. You don't have to reload or anything like that. It just has a limited distance that it goes. It doesn't go very far on the screen, and then you can only go in the up, down, left, to right directions. You can't go diagonal. So anyways, it got kind of difficult for me. I did one boss over and over and over again. And it's probably on me more so than anything. The patterns are the exact same. And I'm following a guide, because I got really lost in this game. It seems like you can really, if you can get somewhere, you can go anywhere you want. And that's not necessarily to say that you're limited by like a strict blocker in all cases. Some cases, yeah, you are. You need to get the correct ability to get through there. But there's just one place I could have got through it. I spent probably half an hour trying to get through this platforming section, but there's no lights. It's basically pitch black. And there is an ability to let you see limited visibility in those sections. And I was going to kind of skip it, and I'm glad I didn't, because it probably would have went bad for me. But I eventually got to a point where I grabbed more collectibles and more upgrades to myself, that the last boss that I played last night, it went down in probably 10 seconds. It was super easy. So it's kind of turned my feelings back around about the game. And I was watching a video today, part of the guide, just to refresh my memory for talking about this. And it's like, you know what? I kind of want to play that right now. And that's a sign of a good game, I think. I'm not dreading to go back to it. As far
as definitely a good sign.
Yeah. And it's a cheap game. It's only $10. And I don't think it's been played by enough people. The ratio is over a 2, which is kind of crazy so far of how not hard it's been, except for my difficulty with some of these boss battles. There are save points that when you die, you come back to. So that's not a big deal. There are teleportation pods that you get, and things like that you can travel quickly. Otherwise, the enemies can kind of overwhelm you on each of the screens. And just like a traditional Metroidvania game, you leave the screen, you come back, there they are. So I kind of use that to my advantage to reset a room if things are targeting me too much. I'll just leave real quick and come back, sort of deal. But yeah, the game is fairly short. I think the counter on my clock says probably close to 2 hours, and I think I am one boss away from that. I could probably get done with it in the next hour, definitely. And that might even be 100%. I don't know my percentage yet, but playing through the game for achievements, you get one for defeating all the bosses. And then once I beat the game after this next boss, I think once I beat it, I'll get the achievement for beating on easy mode and normal mode. Because I am playing on normal first, and it does seem like both of those pop. The difference seems to be that you just have a lot more life on easy mode. I don't see a reason why you would really play on easy mode for the 100% run. Besides just beating the bosses, if you hit every area and unlock the whole map and get every upgrade that you can find, you're going to get all of the achievements except for one, and that will be finishing the game in under 90 minutes. If you're really careful, you could do all of this in one run. I kind of had it in my mind where that wasn't going to be the case. I'm not going to rush through it first go. Typically don't do that anyways in these type of games, unless it's just going really well. So I'm going to go back once I beat it on easy mode and do my 90-minute run there. The solution has a video that I guess one of the records for the game is maybe 40 minutes. So, and there's no glitches or anything like that. So there leaves a lot of room for error in your speed run on this game. So it should be a fairly easy completion. It's going to be a good completion at a 2.6 ratio.
Good ratio.
That's going to be really good for climbing some of these leaderboards. And yeah, I'm kind of glad I found it. It just came out this previous August. I can only imagine that people got into the game because you can pop an achievement super, super quick. And once it's on your tag, you gotta play the game a little bit and endure some of that dying a lot and reloading to your previous save point. You got to endure that, and you got to persevere. And a lot of these people probably just aren't doing that, especially if they bought it just on the fact that it's a sometimes you game, and they were typically easy games. That's not the case. So, but yeah, the game's called Escape from Tethys. Platforming fans, am I saying it wrong? You think it's Tethys or something?
No, I'm just immature. I think it sounds like something else. Nothing.
Oh gosh. Why would you want to escape from that?
What?
Anyways, if you're a Vayner fan,
I had a question. I forgot now.
If you're a Vayner fan, I do recommend it.
Wait,
if you are a platforming fan, kind of an old school platformer with some gun combat, I recommend in that case too. Yes, I will entertain your questions now.
All right, I know you've already kind of answered this, but I have to ask you, as per Big L, is this a Vayner?
Oh boy,
it is a Vayner 100% of the way. The map is very Castlevania-like in that tile-based system. And yeah, you have to get upgrades, and you are backtracking a ton in this game. At least I am. I guess it could depend on on your route, but yeah, it is a Vayner through and through.
So you may mention that you're going to be playing this through 2 times. Do you think it's actually going to be worth it to play through it 2 times? Like, is it good enough to? Or should it just be like, the heck of it, just do it once and be done with it because it kind of sucks and you just want the completion?
Something happened yesterday where I probably would have said yes. Just kind of play really carefully on your first run. It'll probably be a little challenging because you're not going to want to lose a lot of time. But I don't think a speed run, especially on easy, will be terrible. I'm actually kind of looking forward to watching the video after I beat the game to see how they're going to be skipping sections. So I don't know. I'm a little interested in this one, and being so short, being that I can do it in 45 minutes, an hour, that helps. If I had to speedrun a game and it says beat it under 4 hours, and you're pushing it to 3.5 hours or more, that one would kind of stress me out a little bit. But being as short as it is, I think helps in this situation.
Okay, so second playthrough isn't bad. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm watching this trailer. This is Mega Man. That's what
Jay Black said the same thing. He said Mega Man. I mean, maybe if Mega Man was a Metroidvania game. I've never played Mega Man, so shun me now.
Come on, Capcom, make it happen.
Well,
I mean, he's holding a gun. That's not his hand.
If you like Mega Man and you like Vayners, I should say, if you like Vayners and you're not sure if you like Mega Man, you should probably play the X series, like the Mega Man X series, because those play a little bit more like Vayners.
I thought they were bad.
No.
How
dare you, sir?
I've never played any of them. I just remember, or at least I thought I remembered hearing people say that they were bad.
I don't know who these people are, but you should not be spending time with them.
Maybe it was another Mega Man. I don't know.
What is the Kickstarter game that was a Mega Man spiritual successor?
We don't talk about
because that is the closest to Mega Man I've played, and I did not have that much of a good time with that.
Yeah, I would not. No, don't consider that a Mega Man game. Yes, that's by them.
It is driving me nuts now.
Mighty Number 9.
It's driving me nuts right now that I can't remember.
Yes, that's what
Mighty
it was.
Number 9. Yes, that's more like another game I can't remember the name of.
Metagal,
which is like no.
Darn it, El, I was just about to say Metagal.
I was thinking more.
I was just about to say Metagal. It's the closest I've ever played to one.
Something Striker. Also Nintendo.
Super Strikers.
No.
So I know we're getting way off topic, but I need to come back to this. So you said if I was interested, I should play, because there's a lot of Mega Man collections. There's 2 though that have X in it.
You should play like
1 through
X3,
1 through 4,
X2.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're really good.
I'll look those up. I'll get
music
back to
is good. The gameplay is amazing. That's what you want to play. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a price tracker on it because I am interested, and we'll see where it takes me.
So how are the controls in this game? Do they feel tight? Do they feel loose?
They could be tighter, but they work. There's if you get hit, it's kind of like it's on you. You're not going to be floating around everywhere. So it's tight, but it could be cranked up just a tiny bit.
Okay.
I will say the one thing while I was looking at the screenshots, I noticed that there's a water level. So, ew.
A water level. There is water.
Oh, it says that's what it looks like, a water level from the screenshot.
Oh, wait, you're right. There is a section where you're in water. All it does is makes you jump higher. That's it. And you have no oxygen thing, so you don't have to worry about suffocating or drowning.
I was just thinking
Mario. That's actually one of the abilities. You cannot go into water until you get a sinking module so that you actually can sink to the bottom. Otherwise, you just float to the top.
They call it a rock.
$10.
$10. Worth the $10. Wait for
$10.
I mean, I definitely think it's worth it. But I mean, if you're not, itching to buy a game right now and it sounds interesting, put a price tracker on it. I definitely recommend that, because sometimes games, I mean, I think they're known to go on sale. So I would not be surprised if this has escaped my radar, or if it hasn't gone on sale yet. I think it probably would in the near future.
All right.
So yeah, Escape from Tethys. Tethys.
Oh, Tethys.
Oh, Tethys. Yeah.
Okay, if it's Tethys, then I'm going to sound like an idiot that whole time.
I'm not going to edit that so you don't sound like
in my head. It's Tethys, but
okay. You know what?
You're beautiful.
Alex R. Davies calls it Metroidvania. There.
He certainly does.
Wait, what? He does?
Don't worry about that. He's a good guy.
No. That's so funny.
He said he's never heard it, just read it, and that's how he read it. So that's okay.
You know what? I've never heard Tethys or Tethys. Tethys.
He's such a Teth
Well,
head.
Tethys isn't really a thing, but Metroid Prime kind of is.
Maybe it's Metroid in the UK. Maybe they don't have prime numbers there either.
I want to call them Metroids now.
Maybe you should.
All right, let's continue on. Elle, tell me about Crackdown.
No, you're going out of order.
We've already been out of order. I don't go in order. Actually, wait, no, this is in order because you're after Corey.
Okay, I guess I'm telling
He's
people
not
about
wrong.
Crackdown, which I was just going to talk about briefly, but that's okay. I'll talk about it for a long time now. We talked about Crackdown extensively a couple of years ago, but we have lots of new people now. The long and the short is that Michelle and I played this game co-op, and we waited like what felt like a decade for the third game to come out. And it finally came out.
It wasn't a decade?
It might have been. February 2019, so 2 years ago it came out. That's crazy.
Wow, it's hard to believe that's been 2 years.
They added a title update in October 2019, or maybe... No, August.
Oops.
I don't know. They added some... Oh, there were two title updates. That's where I got confused. One was August, and one was later on. So this game is worth 1750 gamer score, 6,375 TA. So one thing led to another, and of course we stopped playing it. And in the month of February, Michelle got this game on her Better Completions Matter random game of the month. And so I said, I will join you in this quest, and we did it. We completed the game. So
nice.
That's actually a nice completion. A couple thousand people out of 136,000 in good company. We found most of the orbs on our own. I say we found them all legit. Michelle seems to think we used a guide a year ago. I'm going to say we didn't. She's known. She's known to fib a lot.
Is she?
Yeah.
Maybe you
One of
thought
us
you
is.
were playing without a guide and it was your simul play, but she had a guide up. She was smart.
We are the guide. So if what we normally do is one of us hears or sees an orb, we call over the other so we both get it.
So wait, in the co-op game, you both have to pick it up?
Yes, you do. You both have to
That
pick up the
sucks.
Yes. But most of the story stuff counts for both people. One thing that doesn't count for both people are the road races. Oh, boy. So in the first two Crackdowns, you actually used the car a little bit and did stuff. In the third game, you don't need the car at all. You're running around. You're jumping around. You got to complete all the road races. The controls are just horrid. And you can drive around and plow through cars and they go flying, but then if you clip a lamppost, you go spinning out of control. Or if you touch a wall or something, it's just awful. And then also, during the races, there will be bad guys shooting at you too. There's all kinds of stuff. It's the type of thing that's very frustrating, but once you get it, it's like, oh yeah, it feels good to get it done. So there was the road races, and there was the wingsuit races, which is another fun thing. Yeah, so we basically had those two things left, and another one for basically beating the game on Legendary. What you can do is just start over on Legendary, and you could just basically go to the last boss and beat it, so you can cheese it a little bit that way. Overall, still love this game. And we have 1, 2, and 3 all complete. I know there was a Windows Phone game, but I don't know. I still call it a series completion. Don't at me.
Oh, so you have the series completion with a asterisk.
Correct. Exactly. Hey, wait a minute. No. I ain't no Barry Bonds.
He gets a pass. It's a Windows Phone.
Yeah, really.
I'll give you the one.
That's
the
barely even a thing
completion.
anymore.
I'm not going to count that against you. So you kind of started off making a joke saying that we waited like a decade for this game. Well, I looked it up. Crackdown 2 came out July 6th of 2010. So we almost did wait an entire decade for this game and missed it by a little over a year.
And then when you guys were surprised it's been like 3 years, I was like, now imagine if the game actually came out when it was supposed to come out, as opposed to like...
Was it supposed to be a One X launch or an Xbox One launch?
I don't remember that. I just remember delays.
I know they hyped it up for the One X release, and they got pushed to February.
I think it was the One X.
Yeah, I can't see them even thinking about being ready at the One launch.
Yeah, because that would have been delayed 6 years.
Delayed longer than original development time.
Yeah, I can't. It was probably 1X. Maybe 1S. I don't remember when the 1S came out.
It was the same time as the X.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought the 1S came out like... The 1X came out in 2018, so I was thinking the 1S came out in like 2015. I don't know. It doesn't matter at this point.
Hey, Nate, I heard you've been cybering lately.
Now that is a segue. If by cybering you mean playing a game on Game Pass called Cyber Shadow, I sure have. Thanks for asking. So I have been playing Cyber Shadow.
Now I'll be right back.
Oh,
sorry.
Son
Just
of
continue.
a mother scratcher. Okay. So I've been playing a game called Cyber Shadow on Game Pass that we had been very excited for. And as it turns out, for good reason. This game is really good. It's by Yacht Club Games, who you may remember from Shovel Knight. And just like they did for the Mega Man type genre with Shovel Knight, they've done something similar. No, they're the publisher. They're not the developer.
Right.
But still, what they've published is very much like that. But it's more like, it's a version of the Ninja Gaiden games on the NES, or the Sunsoft Batman, which was a ripoff of Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden, however you pronounce it, on the NES.
Gaiden.
These games
When you're young,
are good. And this game is fun. It has a great soundtrack. It looks good. It is the right level of difficulty. So if you are used to today's games, your East Asia Softs, your Rattleikas, whatever, if that's what you consider difficult, this game is going to kill you.
This game is not for millennials, as Elroy would say.
Yes, this is very true to the old NES style of difficulty, where the game gets easier the more you play it because you've memorized patterns, you've memorized attacks, and you've just practiced it over and over and over. So it's very much like those old games. A little word about the achievements in this, or at least the approach that I'm taking to the game after spending a little bit of time in it, a couple hours. You're going to want to just enjoy it. So your first playthrough, just enjoy. You are going to be locking yourself out of achievements on that first playthrough unless you play it specifically a certain way. There are achievements for getting to bosses without dying or without killing things. There are achievements for killing bosses without getting hit, killing bosses without beating certain phases or certain defenses that they have in the room. And those are things that don't really make your first playthrough fun unless you're, wired differently than me. So what I've been doing is I'm just going through and playing, having fun, exploring, not using guides, not looking at reviews, just doing this like it was on the NES. With some minor exceptions. I am looking at the achievements, and for some of these bosses, I am modifying how I'm playing to just try to, okay, is that possible to do? Am I still having a good time doing it? Yes. So a couple bosses I've beaten the way that I need to get those achievements. Other ones, I don't want to look at the video to figure out how to do it because that's going to ruin the boss encounter. And I don't want to do that. So those ones I just plan to, I'm going to get to them. I'm going to figure them out. And if I happen to be stuck on the boss, I can't really figure it out with the energy that I have, maybe I'll look at a video and maybe I'll change the way I'm doing it. Your second playthrough is going to be maybe a speed run. Maybe you're going to try to do the speed run. Maybe you're going to try to do the no death run. And then your third playthrough, the speed run is under 3 hours, by the way, in normal mode. And maybe your third playthrough is going to be getting all the secret stuff. Maybe doing all the stuff that you didn't get naturally in your other playthroughs and just kind of going at it. Because when you beat a boss, you cannot play that boss again in the natural level. You can revisit levels. There's an item that lets you find hidden items, or that helps you to find hidden items, which I love. I hate having to find all that stuff just by slashing every wall. But there's an item that will tell you about where it is on the map, and then you can sort of figure that out when you're in that right location. So this game just has so much going for it, and it's just oozing style, and it really harkens back to those old NES days. You get a whole bunch of different abilities. You can upgrade your health, you can upgrade your mana, which allows you to do special abilities. I don't know if they call it mana, but that's what it is. And you get different levels of attacks. You get different levels of moving around. Being able to climb walls, double jump, air dash, stuff like that, I think. I haven't gotten all that yet. I've gotten, I'm going to say like 2 or 3 abilities. But yeah, you had a question?
Well, I was going to say, it all sounds like it could be a Metroidvania game, but it is by no means a Metroidvania game because it's very linear, right? It is set level that you play through from point A to point B and you're done with that level, right?
Sure, you could backtrack and get power-ups and stuff, but you have to progress level to level to level to get to the end. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to go from here to level 3 and I'm going to get that thing, or I'm going to beat this boss even though I don't have whatever.
Now, you're further than I am, and you've mentioned playthroughs, so I'm going to guess that you cannot replay levels. Is that true?
Yes, you can replay them, but the boss won't be there.
Okay, so maybe some of these achievements you could... Well, I'm kind of like looking through them. I don't think anything would really benefit you from playing something again, except for something like this one, destroy 500 boards. Whatever that is, if you missed them, maybe you can go find that enemy. But yeah, so a lot of these there's quite a bit for defeating a boss or something in a particular way.
Yeah, and that's fun, right? Like you want to... That's the type of achievement that I like. It's okay. Go ahead, play the game, have fun, awesome. When you come back around that second time, we got some replayability because we're asking you to do this slightly differently. Maybe it's crazy to go in against this boss and not take out these turrets on the side that make you have to jump left and right and all kinds of crazy things to avoid these extra shots while you're attacking its weak spot in the middle. That sort of stuff. Or why would I go through this entire level not killing anything to get to the boss? Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, that's crazy. But there's an achievement, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend, literal tens of minutes figuring that out.
Yeah, I agree. The achievement list is really nice. A lot of miscellaneous stuff and a lot of story-driven stuff that, if you play the game, you'll get a good bit of it. For sure. So I agree. The list is great.
Yeah. You're going to get a bunch of stuff just through natural progression. You're going to have extra stuff that's going to make you want to go through a second time and play boss encounters differently, or have a different tactic in mind while you're doing it. And then you're also going to have some elite gamer type things, the speed run, not dying, and I don't know. I'm assuming there's a way to cheese that. Like if you do die, you reset the game or whatever. I'll check that out later. Yeah. And then also like a 0% run or something. So beating the game with minimal health and such.
I see this is on Game Pass and Game Pass for PC. You might have already said this while I stepped away. If you did, I'm sorry. But is this like cross progression or cross progression, or is this a stat?
This is cross progression. I would love a stack.
Okay. It's play anywhere, so same save.
Play anywhere. That's what I meant.
So one achievement list, but you can play it wherever you want.
Oh, that's good in a way. Oh, I see. It's xCloud too.
It's xCloud as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Just play wherever the crap you want.
Yeah, I can't help but notice the achievement values in this game.
Yeah, I always forget to mention that.
They're worth.
It's weird.
They're worth either.
I think that's all L looks for.
They're worth either 16, 31, or 91.
That's interesting.
Unfortunately, that will stray people away, and that's a shame.
It's sad. It's such a good game. Just get all of them. Just get all of them, and you don't even have to worry about it.
Speaking of getting all of them, I wanted to quickly point out an excellent article that I saw on TA by Luke Albihex called Cyber Shadow, The Road to 1K. It's a two-parter. The first one is from 0 to 691 gamerscore, and the second is from 691 to the completion. And he details his whole adventure with the game. It's a cool read. Just wanted to point that out.
Is it spoilery?
I don't think it spoils story.
Okay.
It's a lot of words.
that's
I don't
like
think
a
any of us
mention.
read it.
He gives tips. So if that's a spoiler, then
It might be. I mean, this game, the story is not really the selling point for this game. It's the nostalgia factor. It's the playability. Is really, for me, it's the draw. But
Nostalgia value. So since I never played any of those old games, and there's no point in me playing this one.
yeah, it's going to require skill, so you should probably just take a sick day.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, I think you should check it out. It's a good game.
It's on Game Pass. So it's free-ish.
that seems like a game that, like you said, you just got to keep at.
Yes. And I've just been chipping away at it. Like, I can't sit down and play this one for super long because it's a little bit frustrating, and it's a little bit difficult, and it kind of tires you out. So I like to just play a little bit at a time, maybe like half a level, maybe an entire level per sitting, and it's great. I love it for that.
It's good for short breaks, but at the same time, I don't feel like you would want to take a long break.
No, you don't want to forget how things work.
Exactly.
And it seems like the checkpoints are a little bit farther apart than I would want them to be. Like I can almost see it sometimes. I'm like, oh, there's the checkpoint, and then you die. And it's like, oh, really? You go all the way back to the other checkpoint? Okay. But that's how games used to be. So
Brutal.
Man, looking at these screenshots, it looks like Shenron's in here and a Megazord.
You're speaking a different language.
I know those are words. I know those are words.
It sounds like spoilers.
Somebody out there, or there's a couple of people that know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's all good. That
Probably
was for them. That wasn't for you.
Probably
people.
some Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
No.
I mean, I know what a Megazord is, but
That's Power
Shamrock.
Rangers.
That's
Shamrock.
Nah, you said Shamrock. That's all right.
No.
Same diff.
But yeah, I completely recommend this game, Cyber Shadow, for anyone that's played NES games and kind of misses that level of difficulty, especially if you were fans of Ninja Gaiden or the sequel Ninja Gaiden. It's great.
I'm going to ask you the same question, even though I've already played it and I kind of know. But how's the platforming? Is it tight for you? Is it tight? Is it?
Isolate that.
How's the platforming?
Well, I'm glad you asked. The platforming is good. It's what you'd expect. They're spaced out, basically, so you have to be really careful with your jumps. Like, if you don't jump at the edge or right near the edge, you could miss, the next jump. So you have to memorize, placement of like enemies and things like that, and be like, okay. For instance, there's this one area where there's orbital strikes coming down. So once you're in an open area with nothing above you, there'll be like these orbital lasers shooting down. So you have to kind of keep in mind, okay, well, I have to kill this enemy, and in order to kill that enemy, I have to throw a shuriken, or I have to get 2 strikes on it. And if I don't like jump, strike, and then land back where I jumped from, if I don't plan for that, I'm going to get hit by an orbital strike. So you kind of have to take all that into account as you're playing. And that's the type of thing I love. And the platforming is solid. If you miss something, it's because you missed it. It's not because things are floaty or whatever.
Yeah, and not having a lot of ninja G-word experience myself, a more recent title that it reminded me of is The Messenger, which I'm sure has Ninja Gaiden roots as well.
And it's I think it's tighter than the Messenger. Like the
interesting. I guess I could snappier. See that. Yeah,
they feel snappier. They feel tighter than the Messenger. The Messenger always felt a little bit floaty to me.
Yeah, you do seem heavier.
Yeah. Oh, geez, thanks. Rude. But that
wow.
That double jump in the air when you hit something that always felt a little bit off to me. It just felt a little bit floaty. This feels much more. It feels like there's more gravity in this game, and it feels a little more precision.
Cool.
All right, well, let's keep it moving on. So I wanted to bring up a game. As you can see on the list, I want to talk about Heavy Metal Machines. Now, I downloaded this game and I tried to play it before the recording because if you listen to last week's show, I was super hyped on this game. It looks awesome. It looks like a lot of fun, and it's not just heavy metal machines, as in heavy cars. It has got a metal theme through and through. All the achievement names are heavy metal songs. It's great, but I kind of didn't get to play it, unfortunately. So I guess maybe it's because it's new. I'm not going to completely trash the game just yet. Hopefully this week I'll be able to get through it and do a little bit more. When I started it up, I had troubles connecting to it. It took a bit to actually even get connected to the game because it looks like it's online only. And then when I finally was able to get in the game, it kind of wants to put you right into a tutorial. And after about 2 minutes of waiting to load into it, it crashed. And I didn't get to play it, unfortunately. Now, I really have only bringing all this up just to say, when I was downloading, I noticed on the Xbox Live Store that there's 2 different DLCs for it. Now, this is a free-to-play game, and one of the DLCs that you can download for it is their Battle Pass. And this is to kind of like celebrate the launch of the game. And just to read a little description here, it says, "Let's celebrate the launch of Heavy Metal Machines together. This free item pack unlocks a total of 13 items, and all gold members can claim it until March 8th. So just a little PSA.
That is soon.
If you're interested in the game at all, go ahead and download the game, download the Battle Pass, and just so you know what's in it, the Battle Pass, it's Battle Pass, play to unlock more than 100 items, 3 characters, Rampage, Wind Rider, and Little Monster. You get 3 skins for all of those characters, 4 special effects, 1 emote, and 1 spray. So a lot of that, like I said, I haven't been able to play, so I don't know how good it is or not. And then the other DLC. Now, if you really like the game,
this one's a little bit more offensive.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. This one is $50, so it's almost for the price of it's almost a full price game. And this basically just gives you 17 vehicles. That seems a little high. Maybe that'll be on sale. I might put a price tracker on if this game it turns out being kind of good. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game still. I hope to be able to get into it. If you didn't listen to last week, it's kind of like a MOBA, but in vehicles. So Mad Maxy vehicles, MOBA type thing.
I like that one of the features of the game, as they have listed in the store, is Heavy Metal Machines is not pay to win. Like, that is a feature of their game, not pay to win.
That's interesting. I appreciate that. That'll change in 6 months.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, it's not pay to win, so what is the point in that $50 pass? Cosmetics? $50 cosmetics? Jeez.
I mean, it gives you 17 vehicles. Maybe some of them are, like, OP.
It's
not pay to win.
If it's not pay to win, it can't be.
But you could win without that $50.
Oh, boy.
The only other thing I want to point out on the game is... no, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
The only other thing I want to point out on the game real quick is I know that there's some talk in the Discord that this game might be grindy. It might be, but I also just would like to point out that there is someone already that has unlocked 6 of the 10 achievements. Now, obviously, the last 4 are kind of obnoxious, as one of them is to win 100 matches, so who knows how difficult this will be. But yeah, that's Heavy Metal Machines. There's just not much I can say about it, unfortunately, right now. El, you want to talk about your other game now?
I do. Last week, I told everybody to go ahead and buy Animal Super Squad. And I told you that I was going to complete it, and Corey didn't think I could do it. But I did do it right before coming out here.
I forgot about that.
I got the completion.
At
Liar.
the 11th hour.
Well, I unlocked the character you need to you have to beat 5 levels with Slippy, which is the last achievement. But I really wanted to beat the actual game, but I could not beat the next to last level. I was very sad. So I did it the cheap way and beat 5 community levels. So the first thing I wanted to do is tell you a story about how I got this game. Double Moose Games did a giveaway on Twitter 2 years ago. Wow, look at this. I just happened to pick 2 games that came out in February 2019. And
look at you.
I know. Look at that. It's always a
This
theme.
one's far better.
This is a theme. This well, so the contest was to come up with an alternate title of the game. And being an acronym master, I came up with 4 of them. Funny animals need not yodel. Animals rarely smell exquisite. Random undressed monkeys play. And tame unicorns share hamburgers. Once you rewind what I said and do the acronyms, you'll see what I did there. And they picked me as one of the winners for Animals Rarely Smell Exquisite. They also picked Corey for one of the winners.
Did they? I don't even remember. what was my acronym?
Your acronym was Busting Up Toon Tails. But
that's terrible.
It's a winner.
Nate gave an attempt also. Best Untamed Trustworthy Troop. So I got one, Rocker got one, and the third winner came up with Sorry PETA the game. So that was a completely different type of title.
Yeah, they didn't get the Heine memo.
They
the
didn't
Heine
get the
memo.
The Heine
reference
memo. Oh, man. So this game, I don't know what to say about this game. I don't know if I could.
It's Animal Super Squad.
It's Animal Super Squad. You start off with a vehicle, and you go through the stages, and you either fly or drive your vehicle, and you go from checkpoint to checkpoint. And the game is very frustrating, but also has some fun to it. But it's you have a lot of trial and error in this game. So you're going to go through and you say, all right, I know what to do. I know what to do. All right, let me try again. So I guess it's kind of like Trials, right? Trials HD, maybe. I was never very good at those games, but this one, I did it. I figured it out. I beat Corey's challenge.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at that now. That wasn't the achievement I was thinking of. There's one for finding 20 hats. And the hats can get tricky, but I see that on the solutions, there's now a quit the dashboard method. So I guess that's what people are doing now.
Well, I was going to get there, kind sir. There is
sorry.
Excellent. Oh, it's good. I like when you chime in there.
Pay attention.
So you got the 20 hats legit?
I didn't. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I knew about a cheese. Let me see. This was posted in January of 2019, and I got it in May of 2019. So maybe I did cheese it.
You must have cheesed it because
Probably.
I don't think
Knowing
I saw
myself,
20 hats. Yeah, so there is a walkthrough where they go through every single level in the walkthrough. So it's actually pretty decently well done. But you do need to have skill. They're going to tell you what to do, but doing it is a different matter. So you traverse through the levels. Now, the one thing they don't tell you in the walkthrough is that in one of the bonus stages in the beginning, you could find what's called the junk propeller. And you can basically fly through the levels and cheese a couple of them and just fly over the top of the world and just kind of land at the finish. So you can cheese a couple of the levels that way. But this game is just very janky also. I fell through the floor so many times, glitched, got stuck. Luckily, you could just hit the back button and reset yourself. But it was just frustrating at times, hilarious at other times, fun at other times. If you took my recommendation and bought it, give it a whirl. Let me know what you think of it. I'm very curious. There are community achievements as well. You can create your own levels. So if you do have this game, you should probably get those out of the way just in case they shut it down or something happens. You have to, I think you need to, you can create online levels and you have to complete a certain number of them. But you can just, if you just search for the word easy, plenty of people just made easy achievement levels. Yeah, you have to play and complete 10 community-made levels. And all that kind of crazy stuff. It was a good idea. Didn't quite hit the mark for me, but overall, I enjoyed it. And
how much was it on sale last week? It's a $10 normal game.
It was $2.49 last week.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable price. It's I don't think you mentioned this necessarily, but it's kind of Trials-esque, but with
definitely did not mention that at all, Corey.
Did he? Because I was listening, and you didn't say the word Trials.
No, Corey, I didn't.
Anyways,
definitely not.
It's not worth full price, but it's definitely worth that price.
Trials and tribulations. It's definitely a trial to record with you sometimes, my friend. But Chip is good at trials.
Oh, the acronym is ASS. I get it now.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying not to say it. You ruined it. I did say it last week.
Joke grenades are old.
Oh, Kenny. Just end the show now.
All right. Well, with that, if you want to get in touch, just said it. No, it's good. All right. Let's move on to some news then. Let's continue on. First story that we want to talk about. I imagine the three of you really couldn't give an animal super squad about this, but Microsoft will reportedly be holding a Bethesda event next month.
Woo-hoo.
Now, yeah, that's all I figured.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'll watch that.
You want to go with me?
Okay.
Virtually, sure.
Yeah. No, not virtually.
Okay, I'll take one out of the three of you. That's cool. But yeah.
Is it like Doom?
The ZeniMax acquisition is not necessarily finalized yet. Back when it was announced, they were just working on it. They said it, they're in the process of it. Well, in the coming couple of weeks, they will officially be acquiring ZeniMax. And then once all the ink on the contract and all the papers and all that is dry, Microsoft will hold some sort of a press conference or a show or what have you, basically detailing their plan for how they're going to handle Bethesda games going forward. So, more likely than not, day one, the very first thing they're going to say is, everything from here on out, day one is going into Game Pass. And more likely than not, I would imagine all of the back catalog is going into Game Pass. I feel like that's kind of a sure thing.
Most of it's there already, I believe.
I know some things have been in and out. As far as the entire back catalog, at this current moment, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I think we have Doom Eternal, but we don't have Doom. As far as I know, I don't believe Fallout 4 is there, but Fallout 76 is. I could be wrong on that, but either way, I would imagine everything's going to go into Game Pass. And most importantly with this is we will be finding out Microsoft's plans for Bethesda's exclusive deals when it comes to Xbox. I personally believe everything's going to be exclusive. Screw you guys if you don't have Xbox.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, there's some things that obviously are going to be on PlayStation for right now, like the I just had the game Ghostwire Tokyo, like that. They've already said that they're going to uphold the PS4 timed exclusive, so that's going to be there. And I don't really think that they're going to like automatically just yank Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 off of other platforms and make it Xbox only. But Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, yeah, you're going to have to get into the Xbox ecosystem to play those games. I do not believe that they are coming to PlayStation.
Well, the other option that I sort of, I have no idea, but the other option that I'm thinking is maybe new IP is Microsoft exclusive, but existing IP continues to be multi-plat. That's kind of what I've always thought, but I don't know.
I would be honestly shocked if they did. It's a $7.5 billion deal, and throughout the entire Xbox One generation, we've heard one thing: Xbox has no games. This is the way to make it to where Xbox has games. You go get one of the biggest and arguably the best developers out there, and you add them into your ecosystem. I think you are right, though, Nate. Any new IPs, I don't think other platforms even have a chance of them going to their platform unless there's already a prior deal that has been cut. I would be absolutely shocked if Starfield goes to anywhere else besides Xbox, and then obviously PC as well, because PC and Xbox are hand in hand at this point. But yeah, it's just something to kind of look out for on the horizon. I personally cannot wait for this news. I'm a big Bethesda fan. Love the Elder Scrolls games. So I'm very much excited for anything that's coming. Well, something else that's on the horizon.
Forza?
We have a video game movie coming. But there's been a Mortal Kombat trailer, and holy crap, this movie looks good. Did you guys check out this trailer?
Hold on, Kenny. Do it right.
Yeah, buddy.
You got to do it right. Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun. That's how you do a Mortal Kombat movie, not this nonsense they got going on. Yeah. The best video game movie there has ever been, and they're going to make another one. It's probably going to look cooler, but it's not going to be
that.
I think
you are in a minority there.
No, I am not.
It's going to be hard to top it. I was actually talking to somebody this week saying that they hated, like, the 95, I think it was. He hated that movie.
No.
I wholeheartedly disagreed with him.
Annihilation was terrible.
He was British.
Yeah.
Annihilation was not great, but the first one was so good.
Now,
it has begun.
I haven't played a Mortal Kombat in a while, but who's this main character in the movie? Is that
Liu Kang?
It doesn't. I mean, okay. I don't think it's Liu Kang, because when they're talking about names, somebody says he's Liu Kang, and it's not that guy.
Well, they show a lot of characters in the trailer. Like we see Kung Lao, Sub-Zero, Scorpion,
Raiden.
Liu Kang, Raiden. And what's the bad dude's name? Jeez, just left my brain.
Shang Tsung.
And I think we even see Goro. I can't remember.
Spoilers.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah.
I remember.
They got Jax.
It looks so good. This comes out in April. I think I'm going to find a way to get the latest Mortal Kombat before then and catch up on whatever story that's in that one. But it looks so good.
It looks really good. I'm watching the trailer again.
I mean, it looks video game movie good. Yes.
No, this looks just good.
The last video game movie we had was Sonic, which you can fight me. I love that movie too. I think this will be better.
Technically, the last video game movie we had was Monster Hunter.
Wait, what?
With Jovovich?
I don't know.
Yeah. Monster Hunter is
Monster
coming.
Hunter movie.
Yeah, that one's coming out.
Oh, was
soon.
it? I thought it was out already.
No, I'm pretty sure it's coming out this year. Anyways, it kind of, I guess, brings the terms. People generally don't like video game movies. I guess they have a reason to not like them, but we're changing it. We are changing the game of movies.
Oh, I hope so. And the nice part about this trailer is that it's definitely going to be like a hard R movie, it looks like. Like, there's going to be fatalities in this movie.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for the thing that we almost always get, which is Mortal Kombat, the video game, the movie, the video game. Like, that's what I want.
But yeah, that movie looks cool. I'm very much excited for that. I want to watch that.
Fun fact, the person who plays Liu Kang played the Black Power Ranger in that most recent live action movie.
My thumb and other fingers are twiddling in the air. Go Power Rangers.
What?
I'm just going to keep singing if you talk about the Power Rangers.
They don't use jazz fingers.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
As usual, I have no idea what you're talking about, El.
That's good.
It's jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
I get jazz hands. I meant
That's Showgirl's hands?
this would be better if this was a video podcast, but it's not.
You don't know
This is an audio
I'll do
podcast.
Showgirl's hands next week, too. On our live episode next week, March 2nd.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then you
do
can
that.
Google Showgirls and see what shows up. And
Safe search.
That sounds like fan service to me.
Turn safe search on if you're at work.
All right. And last piece of news that we're going to talk about. There was a Nintendo Direct lately.
Why would we talk about a Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, we don't much care about the Nintendo Direct. Except there was two cool things that came from this Nintendo Direct.
Super Smash Brothers character with the sword. Great.
We get a Ninja Gaiden
Mario Golf
collection coming.
Yes, Mario Golf. All right, I'm in.
No, we keep it Xbox focused. They showed off Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. Now, it made it look like it was only coming to Switch, but it's not. It's actually coming to everything. So, you guys like ninjas?
I like ninjas.
Anyone excited for this?
Never
I'm
heard
a
of
ninja
Ninja
guy.
Gaiden.
And what about the sequel?
That's good.
Ninja Gaiden. What? Ninja Gaiden Black is the
All right,
trilogy.
I figured Elle and Nate, if anything, would be excited for that game.
Yeah, why not?
I've never played one. I don't have much interest in them. I know they're super, super tough. Then that sounds awful. I know it's Dark Souls with ninjas.
Well, yeah. Dark Souls before Dark Souls, so it's not as difficult as Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's not Dark Souls exactly. It's just like difficult. But the really big news that's coming is the Black Friday simulator is coming to Xbox.
What?
I'm sorry. Fall Guys. Fall Guys is coming to Xbox, not Black Friday simulator.
Sweet. So they made a game based off of the Fall Guy TV series starring Lee Majors?
All right.
Don't know
Corey,
what that is.
Corey, get hyped with me.
I
know you're excited for this.
You know, all those haters that said it would never come, and I stood my ground, and here we are. It will be coming out. Do we have a date? I think it just said spring or summer, right?
It just said summer. We know nothing yet.
Yeah, it's coming to Switch and Xbox, but that's
finally
all we know. I played this game. I bought it when it came out on PC. It's super fun. It's a battle royale game, and in like a kind of a game show style. Everybody should know what Fall Guys is, but you start out with like a lobby of like 60 people, and you go through these courses, and there's solo competitions and team competitions, and in the races, it could be like an obstacle course, and you have to, finish in however many top spots. There could be team games, kind of like soccer, or like eggs in the basket, where you have to go and grab eggs and keep them in your basket, or go steal them and stuff like that. Just a bunch of fun mini games that eliminate people as you go, and then ultimately you get down to one person winning. So it's just a fun battle royale game that is
it looks great,
really popular. Now currently there is no cross progression. There's no cross play. So I think if you have it anywhere else, PS4 or PC, I'm kind of thinking that since those are already disconnected, there's no way that they will connect Nintendo to PC or Xbox to PC. I just don't think it will happen, unfortunately, since
that's sad.
That cross progression isn't there already. It wouldn't make it fair to those guys who might have accounts on both. So I don't think that's the case. However, it's a super fun game. I will be buying it. It'll be great if it comes to Game Pass. I think it would do super well. That would definitely get player base up.
This is the perfect Game Pass game.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, and it stays that it's normal price, at least on PC, it's only $20. Super worth it at that time. You're going to get a ton of fun out of it. At least in the PC version. I haven't kept up with it super recently, but you can lobby up. You can party up with a group of 4 people, and you can play the games like that. If you just get knocked off, you can watch your friends throughout the rest of the game until they fall or survive and win themselves. And at some point, they were at least experimenting with private lobbies. That could have been like streaming partners only, but that could be a thing as well. They have seasons in the game, so they're constantly updating like themes. I know the second season was kind of like Viking theme. I do not know what the current one is, but I don't know. It's pretty cool. You win crowns. Those crowns can be used to buy costumes and other customizable things. One of their big things is they do a lot of collaborations with people to get costumes in the game. And they just announced that, in their limited times, and they kind of come back and stuff, but they just announced they're doing a Cuphead and Mugman costume. They look really awesome. So, they normally cost like 5 crowns each, for the top and for the bottom, kind of deal, but it's super fun game. I will be getting it day one, no questions asked. The achievement list is tough. It will be a tough completion if it stays the same as the trophy list. Mostly for one achievement that I can recall. You obviously have to get good and win some. But there's one achievement in particular where you have to win 5 in a row, and that can be extremely difficult. Obviously, it's a lot of RNG and skill, but the completion should not keep you away from the game. It will be a ton of fun. I can see myself playing a lot of it, especially with some friends. Party up, keep going for the night, and a lot of community nights with this game, I can tell.
So when you're talking about cross progress, let me try that again. Were you talking about cross progression or cross play?
What you do at home is your own business.
There's neither.
Okay, so it's completely disconnected.
PC, as far as I know, unless they've changed it, like I said, in the past couple months, PC and PS4, that is a segregated player base. I don't know why, but it is, and it was. And cross progression. Okay. If you own the game on PC and you bought it on PS4, you're starting from scratch, start from zero. You anything that you put into the game, you don't get on the other side. And you can buy currency in the game as you play. You earn these. Right. If you win, you get crowns. That is a currency. But as you just play the game naturally, you'll get another kind of currency, and that helps you buy other things. So and right. You can buy those with real money, or you can earn them. And as far as I know, none of that transfers between systems.
Yeah, that's crap. I was hoping I heard you wrong before, that there was no crossplay. This is the kind of game that it really does need crossplay, because I know a lot of the player base has died off now. And if you can get that crossplay, that really will help revitalize it, and also just make sure your lobbies are filled.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it definitely has died off, but it's still a very popular game. I pretty constantly see it in the tens of thousands of Twitch viewers. So, sure. I mean, it's not dead, but
yeah, it's definitely not dead.
If you're talking about like you only play with Xbox people, and if they happen to make it not Game Pass, yeah, maybe it will be kind of dead, which might be good for achievements. So, hey, you get those lobbies, you can win those 5 crowns in a row a little easier. But
did you ever group up with people in your other playthroughs on different systems?
I did not. I did not know anybody who played the game. I bought it on Steam, so
I was just wondering how that would work with groups. Like, can you take a group through, like an Xbox party through as far as you can go until it becomes cutthroat?
You can have them all the way, and so like if
theoretically,
yeah, the last round to decide the winner can be anywhere from, I don't know, I think it might be random, but it could be like 6 players, maybe up to 12 players. And it'll go into the last man standing. And if you happen to get in with your party and there's 2 of you, one of you could just take the dive and give the other person the win. Absolutely.
There are those party levels, though, where it's like, keep the ball in the corner or whatever.
Yeah. So the team games, you will stay on the same team if you are grouped up. So there is that. You can't, at least in everything I've watched a lot of Fall Guys, they never split up the lobby.
Gotcha.
I can't say. I really hope they add like private lobbies to this, because that would be amazing to be able to get a massive AH101 community together, get the community together, and we all play this. That would be so cool.
Do you find Tethys in the privates?
Especially if it's on Game Pass.
Sounds good.
Well, speaking of Nintendo Direct, let's go on to the community side question. But this week it was a little bit differently. I didn't really much care what these guys thought about any question that the patrons gave us. So instead, I asked the patrons a question. And that question was, if you could give any Nintendo property achievement support, what would it be? Well, we got a couple of answers back. Now, as you can imagine, we got a couple of the very generic ones, like MDP's top 3 picks, Pokemon, Super Mario, and Legend of Zelda. We got a lot of those. I agree with Pokemon, definitely. No one cares about Zelda. Ahizo.
I'll take over. This is Ahizo.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, Ahizo. I didn't realize you sent in a audio clip.
Yes. My name is Andy from Toy Story. And I love Golden Sun. It's my favorite RPG series of any platform, and without a doubt, my favorite handheld game of all time. I used to play it in the bath, and then, anyway, there was a multiplayer battle system where you could fight other people with the game that was never well utilized. Everyone loves multiplayer achievements, right? Oh, man.
Wow, your voice changed. His voice changed a little bit in that clip.
Chesno was here, too. Woof, 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 woof. Wow, thank you, Chesno. Amazing.
That translates to he wants Nintendogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we had a couple of other games that were mentioned. Michelle, Vulgar, they both mentioned Eternal Darkness and Chewy 2. Vulgar also, and a couple of other people mentioned Punch-Out. Fug said Secret of Mana,
yeah.
which is getting a remaster on the Switch. Not that anybody will.
That's Legend of Mana.
This man will probably play that,
which is poop.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was
it's in the same family.
I've heard of Secret of Mana. I didn't know Legend of Mana. Carpe Adams getting Excitebike, or he wants Excitebike. Jay Black said all the early Dragon Quests. Northern Last Pikmin. Hat 90 wants all the Mario Party games. Heck yes, that would be so much fun. But we're going to have to settle with Fall Guys. Retro Chief, absolutely. He wants Animal Crossing. That's the way to go. Or he wants Metroid too, which I guess, that'll work.
I agree with most of those, except for Mario Party. I don't think... no, I love Mario Party.
Who was it that said Battle...
What?
Go ahead.
No, I said I love Mario Party, but I don't think that game needs achievements. I think that game stands on its own. And I don't like multiplayer games where you would do different things just to get the achievements and take out. You understand what I'm trying to say? You would try to do different stuff, not within the spirit.
You don't want the easily boostable ones.
Yeah, just I don't know. Maybe for doing
Mario Party would still be fun
on a mini game or something like that. That would be fine. Got a lot of blisters back in the N64 days.
How come no one said the Battle of Olympus?
That's a game.
The acronym for that is BOOM.
Boo!
It's good though. That was a great.
I do not know that game. Sounds like a Hercules game.
Hercules.
It looks like it's basically 2D Phoenix.
Exactly.
Ah, no wonder Nate wants it.
But it's a good game, though. It's really a good game.
I'm kind of surprised no one said Mario Kart. I would love to see Mario Kart too.
I mean, that's like Coffin Dodgers, right? We already got it.
That's
okay,
true.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone likes their Nintendo nostalgia. Lots of good games in there. That would be great with achievements. Not that that will ever happen.
I have one that would be really great with achievements that's on the Switch.
What's that?
Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Oh, good idea.
Oh.
Yeah, we definitely need achievements. It was obvious. It was right there.
Can't believe no one said that one either. All right. Yes. Let's move on to some sales. No sale way for you. Nate, what you picking up?
What am I picking up? I don't know.
Or whatever you were recommending.
Oh, even better. Yeah, so I'm looking at Castle Storm 2. I liked the first one. This second one is $10 down from $20. It's labeled as strategy on TA. It looks like they've expanded the game a little bit. So it's still got that same mechanic where you're throwing javelins of different types and you're attacking, these units as they're crossing the map, and you're pushing your own units across the map to try to get to whatever the goal is. There's also a hex-based grid. So I think you have some choice about where you go as opposed to just picking the next level out of a list. So the achievements make it look like you have to finish every campaign or progress to different stages of every campaign. So I don't really know how the movement around that is going to make a big difference or not. But like I said, the first game was a lot of fun. $10 for this game seems reasonable to me. $20 seems a little bit much, but I don't know. Might want to check it out if you're a fan. Another game I've looked at but not purchased before is Ghost 1.0. It's $3 down from $10. It's labeled as action adventure. One of the things that drew my attention to it is that it has 93 achievements. And it reminds me of...
Good Lord.
Yeah, it reminds me of that game Light On.
Turn on?
Yeah, light, turn off, light off. I don't know.
No one can get this name.
It's Prue's favorite. But yeah, Turn On had a bunch of achievements, and I love that game because I could just go in there and I'd get like my toasts were just flying. It was fun. So I'm kind of looking forward to it for that reason. That was what kind of drew me to it. But then I also learned, well, it's from the same developer as Unepic, which is a Metroidvania. And some people who have played this game have said that this game could be labeled as a Metroidvania, at least on one of the playthrough modes. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to check it out. And if it ends up being a Vayner, I'm going to vote for it.
Have you bought this before by any chance?
No, I wouldn't have bought it twice. I'm
checked. Just like 90% sure this game's been recommended already.
That's the only reason I asked. I have recommended it before in sales.
He buys it every time.
Not as something I've played, yes. So I will be picking it up this time for sure, though. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, Matriarch talked about a game, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. It was on Games with Gold in November of 2019. So if you didn't get it then, you want to check it out now because it is $2.74 down from $55. That's huge.
Holy crap.
Yeah. It was discussed on level 133. If you want to go back and listen to it, like I said, it was Games with Gold. If you don't have it and you want it, you can't beat that price. It's not going to be lower than $2.74 again. I don't know. I doubt it. Another game, Hexalogic, $3 down from $5. It's puzzle. It has a walkthrough, but why are you going to buy it and not try it? It looks like it makes sense. It looks like a logic-based puzzle game. Don't just do the walkthrough. Come on, that's lame. The last game I want to mention, just because I've looked at it, and no one on my friends list has played this game. It's Animus Standalone. It's $2 down from $10. It's an action RPG, and I know we've got some role playing. I know we've got some action RPG and role playing fans out there. It's listed as 15 to 20 hours, and the game doesn't look too bad. Graphically, it looks okay, and the combat looks okay. And it kind of reminds me of an Infinity Blade crossed with like a Souls-like gameplay. It's got 160 people that have started it and 17 completions. So it's not like, it's got unobtainables and things like that. And it's got 3 out of 5 stars from 11 votes. So maybe this is a sleeper. I don't know. If that sounds good, check it out.
I like sleepers.
This one up. Yeah, I'll be picking this one up myself. Unless someone tells me no, because $2, that's not bad.
No.
Yes.
Go for it.
All right. Well, I'm just going to be real quick. Just as another PSA, all Assassin's Creed games, it looks like they're on sale, and all the DLCs on sale, which might be good for if there's just by any chance a year-long contest going on, maybe in the Chewy CC channel. Who knows? This might be the time to finish out the Xbox Live Games of Gold collection, if for some reason you're missing something. What you got, Corey?
So I am so surprised that Koosh found so much to talk about, because I stole definitely 3 of his recommendations before he could get to our doc.
Stole the better ones, that's for sure.
So yeah, I picked up all the labeled Metroidvania games on TA. That Ghost, man, Ghost 1.0. I can't see how that's not a Metroidvania game, just based on what I'm seeing. So I'm definitely going to probably pick that up. Anyways, the properly labeled games on TA that are on sale this week are Eterno Blade. That starts with an A. Eterno Blade. It is half off, so it's $7.50. That's a Vayner. I know nothing about it, but it's a Vayner. I also know nothing about Unepic. That is 70% off, so it's only $3. It's a long completion, like 40 to 50 hours, if TA is to be believed. But this comes with a recommendation from a Woo who, grades pretty harshly. So if he's recommending it, then it's probably pretty decent. So I will definitely be picking that one up as well. The last one on my list is a for fun game. This is a game if you need to chill at night, then this is the game that you want. Minesweeper Genius. I've mentioned it before. It is $1.19. $1 hair and 19 cents for Minesweeper Genius. And it is one of the most chill games. I played it near the time I played Glass Masquerade, another really cool chill game. And Minesweeper Genius is just one that you don't want to end. And then when it does, you just want more of it. And yeah, it's so good, and you can't beat that price. Definitely recommend that one.
Yeah, last time this was on sale like this, I've missed it. And before we recorded, I picked it up because of your recommendation for it.
Wow, you have $1?
Having a chill game before bed is great. So I'm like, all right, $1.19, that's so cheap.
I mean, you're basically losing money if you don't buy it. I don't think there is a guide for this.
You can't use a guide. It's randomized.
Even if you're Corey.
It's Minesweeper, man. But fun.
I like Minesweeper.
Nice to hear. Minesweeper Genius.
How about you, El? What do you got?
Oh, I just want to recommend Nate's favorite game, Skate Master Checo. He loves He loves that game. Oh my God, he's upset right now.
So bad.
It was not that bad. It is 30% off, $3.49 instead of $5. It should take you less than an hour to complete. And if for some reason you don't have Dear Esther, that game is $2 hairs instead of 10. Nice walking sim, easy achievements. Not too much else this week. It's definitely Assassin's Creed centric. And I don't know. I guess I think I have like 10 plus of those games and never bought a single one. So I guess if you want the new ones, you got to buy them. Don't pay a full price for Ubisoft games.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's Phoenix Rising, of course.
I'll get that in a year when it's Games of Gold.
There you go.
Which, speaking of games with gold,
we didn't get podcasted.
Finally. Just as a reminder, there are a couple of games that you can pick up right now. Gears 5, Resident Evil, and Dandara, and Lost Planet 2. Those 4 games are up for grabs of Games of Gold. And we got an announcement next month on what we're getting. Instead of 5 games, we're getting 4. We are getting available March 1st to the 31st. Warface Breakout. No idea what that game is.
First-person shooter,
Yeah, I think it has to do with war.
I was going to say, it looks... The cover art
Breakout
makes
is
it look like a first-person shooter.
And it has a discontinued achievement.
Skip. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It got patched.
That is fixed. This is it's just like a first-person shooter game. I think it's like Counter-Strike a little bit. It's got a battle pass. I actually, funny enough, when it came out, I was sort of interested in buying it, and just never got around to it because I didn't think anybody else would play with me, and I don't know if I would want to play it by myself. But
TA still says that it has a discontinued.
Yeah, they fixed it.
It does, but that's not a thing.
Okay, just making sure we're not getting confused.
I'll play it with you, Corey.
Don't want to spread fake news on this show.
People have unlocked it as recent as 2 days ago.
Oh, good. TA, fix it. Next game, March 16th to April 15th, Vicious Attack Llama Apocalypse.
Yeah, that
You
game.
should ask
sounds
Elle about this
amazing.
one.
This sounds great. Yeah.
That sounds great.
It sounds great, but it really wasn't that great, sadly.
No.
Didn't you win this game as well?
I think so.
Like maybe like
Maybe on
a
TA?
old TA mixer stream.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
It's got 4-player local only. It would be fun if it was online. It sadly doesn't have it. It's a hard game. For free, sure, grab it.
I mean, it's a roguelite shoot 'em up. That doesn't sound terrible to me.
It sounds great.
It's
With
hard.
llamas?
It's hard.
And it's llama. That name is amazing. So that,
funny, but...
I'm looking forward to that. March 1st to the 15th is Metal Slug 3.
A little fun fact that
Which is the Xbox 360.
How long would that game take to beat, Corey?
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. This 200 pointer, granted, according to the walkthrough, takes 1 hour to 100 hours.
Wow.
That's certainly a range.
I don't know why. I guess it's skill, and they just thought that was the most appropriate thing to put, but that's what it says.
Okay, then. So it's completable, skill based. Yeah. Time pending. And then the other Xbox 360 game is Port Royale 3, which I'm sure
This is a
none
Kenny
of
game.
you exactly. I'm sure none of you care about this. I'm very much excited for this. I'm glad that we're getting this.
Genre, simulation, strategy, management. That's Kenny.
Yep. That is very much a Kenny game.
Royale 4 is out, so why would I want to play 3?
It's free.
Because it's free.
Air quotes.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenny is really good at simulation games. We play one every Thursday called Trash Can Simulator.
Hey now, Zoo Tycoon.
He yells at me for cleaning up the trash.
Empties. Because you need a cheat. You know what? No, rant time.
Let's get into this, please.
No, rant time.
What? If
So-
I see it, I have to do it.
You don't need to do it.
Yes, I do.
Go,
My body needs...
look on his TA page for Zoo Tycoon right now. He still needs achievements for filling the feeding stations. You need to fill 250 of them. So what does he do? He goes around cleaning up the trash cans. There's no achievement for it. There's nothing, no benefit in the game
customers
for it.
leave.
It literally does
Yeah,
nothing
litter.
for
You're
us.
right. Litter.
And instead,
Litter's
he makes
bad.
me and Michelle tell him 72 times. Elle, did you check this? Do you have this animal? Elle, did you take this picture? Elle, did you take this picture?
Busy.
Elle, did you take this picture? Go take a picture of the capybara. I can't even say it right because I'm so annoyed.
I don't think you're playing for fun.
Yeah, you need to play for fun, Kenny. Just
Sounds
clean
like
up
you're
the
playing
trash.
for achievements.
Yeah, Kenny.
See, I was going to talk about Zoo Tycoon earlier on instead of Heavy Metal Machines, but I'm like, there's nothing good to talk about. In all honesty, it would be better if I streamed the game so you could just sit there and watch me beat my head against the desk trying to get L to do what he needs to do.
That sounds like quality content. You need to rant more.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Games with Gold. Got me in trouble.
We're doing the Ultimate Animal Edition.
Okay, thank you.
Which is Game Pass. The Games of Gold one, the regular Zoo Tycoon, that I'm doing by myself. And it's much easier.
Do you pick up all the trash?
Not just because of L.
Is it Connect supported?
No, I don't pick up the trash.
That was Games with Gold, March.
But yeah, Port Royale 3. I'm very much looking forward to that. I had that on Price Tracker, so I'm glad my cheapness paid off for me.
It's like a 9-year-old game, man. Come on.
Well, like we say all the time, the backlog is real. Why keep buying these games when I know it's just going to sit there?
You sound like L.
Yeah,
God,
you sound like...
darn.
Wait, that's terrible. Don't insult the lad.
Frick, I've been playing too many games with him.
No, don't throw away your cup. That's not trash. Inside joke, sorry.
That's okay. All right. Corey, let's get to your thing. Game's coming real soon.
Okay. Yep. This is games coming real soon.
TM.
All right. I've been doing this thing, and I say that I'm not gonna name off every game, and I have been. It's a problem. If you
We're
like
excited
that,
for all
let
the
me
games.
know.
It's okay.
Anyways, I'm going to be. I picked out. I didn't even write down stuff about the other games. I'm only picking out the ones that I think are going to be of somewhat quality and or fun. Don't get me wrong. I have an East Asia Soft in here, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm an expert. Anyway,
Hey, that East Asia Soft game looks good.
and it's the first on my list because on March 3rd, it is a Wednesday. The following Wednesday, our weekly East Asia Soft game comes out, and it's called Cave Bad, and it is not a shoot 'em up. This is a roguelite or roguelike. I don't remember which one it was. I wrote like. Anyways,
Quick segue.
Yeah.
Quick rabbit trail. What is the difference between a roguelite and roguelike?
All right, so Cave Bad, because I don't know the answer to that.
That is the correct answer.
Nobody knows, but it's provocative.
All right, continue.
Yeah, so Cave Bad is the name of the game. It's probably going to be like $5. Didn't have a price when I looked at it, but it looks like it plays like Bomberman. So your quadratical directional explosion from a bomb, and you're blowing up stuff. But there's also roguelike mechanics where you get upgrades, and there are bosses, kind of like old school Zelda dungeons. So if you kind of like mix all that up and put in a pretty fun soundtrack, that is what Cave Bad looks like. And yeah.
Go watch a trailer.
I have
it
the answer
genuinely
if you
looks
wanna
like a
hear it.
pretty good game.
Sure. Enlighten us.
Because this came up in the Vayner's room like a month ago. I remembered it, so I just searched it, and I found it.
Huh.
The key difference is that in roguelite, some progress carries over, where you get upgrades or new things in the hub to help you out so you're progressing. Roguelike has none of that. You die, you start over from scratch, no upgrades, just get good.
Just get good.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, so
So roguelike sucks.
TLDR, roguelite is better than roguelike.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, really.
So
Roguelike sounds more like trial and error.
yeah. And that is Cave Bad. So you might actually have some fun with that. It probably won't be too hard. Who knows if you even have to play the whole game. I'm just telling you what it looks like. Also on Wednesday, March 3rd, Zidalon is making a quick return to the Windows platform. Castle of No Escape, the first Zidalon game to come out on Windows 10, finally happens. It's a thing. I can't tell you whether to play it or not. That's going to be up to you. Right. So also on the 3rd is a game that I'm very interested in. It's called 3 out of 10. It says season 1 on it. It is broken up into episodes. Best I can tell, it looks like it's an Epic Game Store PC exclusive, and there's 5 episodes. Now the achievement list is out, and there are achievements for completing each of the episodes. So I'm guessing it's all bundled in together. The weird thing is, it looks like it's free on the Epic Store. So who knows how much it will be when it gets released on Xbox. But the game in and of itself is very unique. You're watching this episodic show, and they call it the world's first playable sitcom. There's
interesting.
There's different mini games. I definitely saw first person, and some of it looked like, point and click stuff, but that could have been like the cinematics that you're watching. There wasn't a whole lot of information out there. I didn't want to look at a lot of, gameplay videos to spoil myself, but you take the game dev studio that you're watching is called Shovelworks Studios, and the tagline is, will they ever make a game that scores better than a 3 out of 10? And so it says it's part animated show, part game. So I'm really interested in it. I like the art style, and I just don't know about what you do in it. And so if there's not a lot of if there's not like a ton of like dialogue options, because I'm not really into that point and click stuff, then I will probably be into it. The freeness is kind of catching my eye. Like, I can't imagine it will be free, but maybe. I don't know.
Well,
it also says that you can skip, replay, and rewind at any time. That is also intriguing to me. So
it might be the kind of thing where episode 1 is free, but then like 2 through 5 or however many there is, you got to pay for.
That's what I'm saying, though, on Epic, which, they give stuff out free all the time. It's free. The whole thing's free. I don't know.
Oh, I misunderstood you.
Yeah. I don't know. So that one's called 3 out of 10, so keep an eye on that.
What do you think Awoo's going to rate it?
0.05 out of 10.
100%. This game looks weird.
But interesting weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that Skeeter from Doug?
I don't know, but the following day, Thursday, March 4th, is a game that I have actually seen most of the way through, and I probably wouldn't have watched it if I had thought about it coming to Xbox. Just, we typically don't get these games, and so I watched my favorite streamer pretty much play it all in one day. So it's not an incredibly long game, but it's called Kill It With Fire, and it's a first-person action game about hunting spiders.
Oh, I know this game. I didn't know this was coming to Xbox.
Yes, it is. I want to say that it's being published by Tiny Build. They publish some great games, in my opinion. But the game in and of itself
it is Tiny Build.
Is super interesting to me. You start out in just like your apartment, and you're killing spiders. You're throwing stuff at them. You can eventually find weapons, and they increase in the amount of damage that they cause. And there is an overarching story that I will not spoil.
Is there really?
There is absolutely a story to this game. It's not just go
here,
kill spiders, go here. It's not that. It has a pretty it has a nice twist, and but yeah, it's all about killing spiders with different things, and you got to find them all. They're hiding under stuff and in stuff, and I don't know. This is my most hyped game of the week.
I'm right there with you.
Most hyped game of the week. Kill It With Fire.
Oh man, I might have to get this. This game looks like stupid fun.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, and like you said, there's so many ways to kill them. If you just look at the screenshots, there's pistols, actual fire, rocket launchers,
frying pans,
dynamite, frying pan. It looks good. I very much want this game.
And so that's on Thursday the 4th. That's the only thing that's coming out that day. On Friday the 5th, I only have one that I want to mention, and it's called Mail Mole. And if you look at the gameplay that they offer, it could have more to it, but there's a hub world and levels, and it's a 3D, what they call it? Did they call it an action platformer? They just called it a 3D platformer, but if you played Super Lucky's Tale, you know how they have those levels that are all about burrowing? Basically, you auto burrow the whole thing and you jump up and get through the level.
Okay.
Imagine if you made an entire game out of that. That's what this looks like.
Interesting.
Every level that I can see is burrowing and popping up and jumping through different platforms and, puzzles and whatnot. I can't see any like overworld walking around gameplay. But I know they have a hub world, a lot of cosmetics. You pick up the collectibles in the level and you can buy these cosmetics at the in-game store. And I don't know, it actually looks fun. I wouldn't probably pay a lot of money for it, but it looks like a good 4 to 6 hours, maybe.
This looks like a Corey and Nate game.
This is one of those games that the video trailer looks much better than the screenshots. Like the screenshots make it look, single dimensional, fixed camera, whatever. But the video of it actually makes it look fun. This could be good.
Now, is it a boy mole or is he delivering mail?
It is a male mole.
Now, is this a mole?
He's delivering mail.
He's so wearing armor.
So if it's a boy, it's a male
going
mole.
in. He's a little nude, but you can unlock different accessories and put a chain on him, things like that.
Well,
and for some reason, he's trying to save his place that he lives, and it's called Carrot Land. I guess moles eat carrots. Weird. New to me.
That's the educational portion of the show.
So yeah, those are my picks of the following week.
Good picks.
Cave Bad, 3 out of 10, Kill It With Fire, and Male Mole. So if any of those sound good, look those up. Did you have any, Nate?
I did. Yeah, there's two that I didn't have time to mention. I'm going to be super brief about. They both seem like they have Meat Boy tendencies or qualities to them.
Two of my favorite things.
Yeah, from developer Redmount Media, publisher Jandusoft, it's The Lost Cube. It looks very much like a Meat Boy like type game. Although the graphics look more current, looks nice. And then the other is Sir Lovelot, who's by developer and publisher Pixel Lou, who you may or may not remember as the same publisher developer of Siggy, A Fart from Melusina, which was a game that was more fun than it had any right to be. And I'm hoping that Sir Lovelot follows that same pattern. It looks like a Meat Boy-like game. It's very fast motion, lots of stuff going on in the levels. You have to dodge all sorts of environmental hazards, but you also get projectiles and stuff. So that's interesting.
Is it is it Meat Boy light or like?
That's a very good question. I don't know. Can you progress? Can you carry things through? It looks like there might be some sort of progression that you carry through. So I'm going to say light.
Okay. Sorry.
And yeah, it's currently on sale. You save yourself $2. It's $7.99 down from $10. So
I can only hope that fake Hulk Hogan is there.
Oh. That would be awesome.
Lots of good games coming out. It'll be an interesting week.
That it will be. All right, let's get into some contests. Elle, why don't you take G-Task? Corey's been talking. I'm just going to throw that on you.
That's good, because I'm actually on it.
Oh, looky there.
All right, well, we are down to the nitty-gritty in the Team G-Task. We have 11 teams left. Unfortunately, we lost. Well, there were 13 last week. Now we have 11. We lost 2 teams. Uncles with Benefits, including community member Bedholm, and The Cake is Alive Forever with community members Nutty, Ray, and Raw Sauce Ross. So good job to them. We are down to 11 teams. Like I said, we still have a decent amount of community members represented in the team. Individual has 40 people left, including our boy, Elroy. So bring it home, Elroy. Seriously. Just get eliminated already so Kelly will talk to you.
No, you got to go all the way.
All right, at this point, I doubt he's gone all the way in a long time. But good job to our community members. I think somebody we know is going to win for sure.
100%.
At least 99.
Nah, 100.
All right.
Kingsman's not in it anymore.
I see what you did there.
Wow. That might be the best dead horse ever.
It's a throwback, that's for sure.
Nate, your
Yes.
favorite time.
It's the Gamertag Challenge. This month is known as February, and that is where we celebrate the Gamertag of What the Fug. His wildcard game is Old Man's Journey because that's just funny. And the bonus is Xbox Gold. Achievements containing the text old. And that's my dog in the background. Example, old, cold, bold. And it's of note that by the time we have our next recording, the month will be over. So make sure to get all your achievements scored and on the sheet before we record. So try to do it by Monday. And we will then be picking our new name, and you'll hear about it on the live show.
Which is next week, so be sure to check that out. All right, well, let's get into our final segment, #BragCamp. Take it away, Corey.
All right. Mine are very light this week, so I'll read every one of them. How about that? That I was given. I did not trim these myself. The Alpha Six
Just like your
has
hair.
reached 100 completed games.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep, nothing else to say about that. Yeah, that's good. That's a good milestone.
Very good milestone.
He started brand new on
Recently.
Xbox not too long ago. So yeah, good job, the Alpha Seagull. Also, Wild West 08 has reached 700 completed games. So very well done job there. Words. Completion percentage. Freedom Girl 85 has reached 54% completion percentage, and Tony Coconuts 72%.
In ratio, we have one person who plays really difficult games, and that's Infamous. He has a TA ratio of 3.5. I'm being asked to add something in the milestones about how notoriously easy a game player Elroy OMJ has passed FuFu on ratio because his ratio is a trash panda-ridden trash bin. In streaks, Officer Zero is currently on a 50-day streak, as is Red 047, and Dunko's Wild West 08 is currently on a 300-day win streak. Princet is on a 400-day achievement win streak, and Seamus Michelimi is on a 1,600-day achievement win streak. We don't talk about achievements won.
We don't?
I'll give it to Elroy. I have a 1-5 ratio, and considering he's been doing nothing but playing hot trash for the longest time, good job, buddy. All right, in achievements won, Chip Papa has won 24,000. Unky Tim Fu has won 25,000. And Elroy OMJ has won 29,000 achievements.
Righty. It's alive. Alex has reached 200,000 TA score. E.L. Sock, it's in the game, has reached 400,000 TA score. Sex has 850,000. Mishgalob has 1.25 million TA score. NBA Kirkland, a.k.a. Wanda's husband, has 1.5 million TA score. And Nutty Ray has 1.7 million TA score. In the leaderboards, in alphabetical order, of course, Alex R. Davies. Now, here's a guy who is in the top 1,000 TA leaderboards for Vayners, top 2,000 gamer score for Vayners, and top 500 of the TA difference leaderboard for Vayners. Speaking of Alex and Vayners, he streamed Momodora, beating the game on hard mode. It was a really awesome stream, and he did it, and I learned a lot, but unfortunately his video did not save. I was going to use it to try it myself, but hopefully he knows how to save them for the future.
Yeah, I believe he had to do it I believe he thought he was going to do it in like 3 hours, and he crushed it at like 2.5 hours.
He did.
That was even after dying, as he was gloating about not dying.
And that's while narrating, so...
From what I saw, he was doing really well and able to talk and play at the same time, which is not easy for that type of game, and explain the items you get for not getting hit and all that kind of stuff.
No, yeah, I was there for a good chunk of it. He did great. That was great to watch.
Ahizo is now in the top 50 of the Arizona TA leaderboard for RPGs. Nicely done. Dan Pacifics is in the top 200 of the TA leaderboard for Roguelite. I don't remember which is which now at this point.
Where is he for Roguelite?
Roguelike. Rogue. Yes. Icefire TN, also a member of someone still in the Team G task, is in the top 500 of the USA TA Difference leaderboard. Mental Knigget 5 is now in the top 50 of the TA Difference leaderboard for card and board. And Quick Don't Die is in the top 2,000 of the TA leaderboard for On Rails. Hey, you know what game is on rails? Turn On. Quick Don't Die is now in the top 100 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for Party. Toad, Style, Venom, a.k.a. Stan, is now in the top 200 of the TA leaderboard for point and clicks. And speaking of Stan, his birthday was February 23rd. And I'd like to take this time to yell at FuFuCuddilyPoof for ruining his happy birthday message on TA. We were spelling out...
I was wondering who was going to do that.
We were spelling out happy birthday, and he put some random letter. Look at him. He doesn't... He's like, why are you... I told him before the show I was going to yell at him, and he didn't know why. This is why. You ruined it. So his birthday
that's
was
wonderful.
Ruined.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Last but not least, of course, is some guy we know named Prue. Reached 1 million gamer score. And he did.
Do you know any details about
Whoa.
that?
I have lots of details.
Good.
He did it on his birthday, which I don't believe anyone has done before, at least on purpose. And he did it with the achievement, Congratulations, Happy Birthday achievement in Lollipop Chainsaw.
That's why he's been playing that game.
And the description for this game is watch the happy ending. Well, we hope you got a happy ending on your birthday, my friend.
It's your birthday. You do what you want.
Speaking of happy ending, I saw you got the million, and I came into Prue's party, and him and like 5 or 6 of friends were there, and I came into his party and started singing happy birthday and congratulating him, and his friends were like, good job, dude. Prue went to the bathroom. And I was like, God damn it. But they told him I was there, and he messaged me saying thanks. But that was something. They were playing Wreckfest. That looks interesting, by the way. So, good job, Prue. You can maybe stop playing some baby games now and help me pick up some trash in Zoo Tycoon.
Hey. Immediately after he got the million, he joined our Avengers session, and we got achievements, and he broke that. So
he did.
We're not playing baby games in our sessions. We're not picking up poop, at least.
Neither is L.
Wait. From what I've heard about the Avengers game, you are picking up poop every week. But
no, you just pick it up once when you buy it, right. And then after that, you just keep playing with the poop.
Joke. That's the joke. Video games.
All right. As always, it is getting late.
We are
so let's get out
delirious,
of here.
And putrid.
So, if you have enjoyed this show,
see a therapist.
Be sure to like and review us.
Come back
on
next
your
week
platform of
on
choice.
Twitch.
We'll be there live.
Joe.
I was getting to that.
We are going to play Cake
Bash.
Bash.
We're going to start skipping before you get all of this stuff.
We're doing a 24-hour Cake Bash stream.
Oh my god, that sounds awful. I like Cake Bash, but 24 hours of that sounds awful.
Every 10 minutes,
minutes
we take a shot
sound
of cake.
awful.
I mean, now if we're going to do cake shots, I guess that makes it better.
Shot.
No,
my
that sounds
wife's
worse.
been doing keto stuff, so I have a keto cake.
Oh,
What,
just
chicken?
Just have veggies instead. Trust me.
No, it's just bacon.
We use like coconut flour and stuff.
That's a thing? That sounds bad.
Almond flour.
And sugars that you've never heard of that's like not real sugar. Yeah, we have almond flour.
Yeah, just have veggies. You're better off. Trust me.
I thought when you're on keto, you're just supposed to eat like cheese and bacon.
We've gone over this fufu.
Well, I mean, it's like keto / low carb.
And other people that eat keto, yeah, I mean, that's kind of...
You eat them too?
Yeah, you eat them too. They're literally
They're
keto.
Well, you're right.
Wow.
Achievement
All right.
hunting
That's something I didn't know
101.
about
It's
this.
keto friendly.
But yeah, tune in next week for the live show. We'll be playing a game beforehand as well. Who we have not quite nailed that one down quite yet. But yeah, like or follow and subscribe to us on Twitch, twitch.tv/AH101. You can get a hold of us on the Twitter at Achievements101. Send us those Twitter tweets. Check out the Discord, discord.io/AH101. It's a lot nicer now. And Patreon.
Damn right.
If you enjoyed the show and you want to support us and help us out, we would greatly appreciate it. Patreon.com/achievementhunting101. Greatly appreciate our patrons and all that donate to us and help us. You're what keeps us going and keeps the lights on.
Speaking of patrons and the live show is when we do all of our drawings. So that includes a Patreon drawing that those lovely people are entered into. It also includes Twitch subscribers. So if you subscribe to us with your monies or with Amazon Prime, wink, wink, that's a free subscription. You get entered into a drawing, and being there is a drawing, and the Gamertag Challenge is a drawing. So lots of winners happen on our live shows.
Lots of codes and stuff that we give away. And you can watch us beat our heads against walls as we play a game with L.
You get to do that every week.
With that, I do get to do that every week. Oh, God, it's now Wednesday. That means tomorrow I got to play Zoo Tycoon.
Yay. Whoa.
All right. With that, class is dismissed. See you next week.
Racing games are awesome, Inigo.
It spells ass.
Oh, Amy, everything is going to be okay. I promise.
Greetings, I'm Wakapeil, and I finally completed the horrible horror game assigned to me by LFLet. Back in October, me, LFLet, and others discussed the worst horror game we've played on the Xbox. My contender was the excrement-filled teddy bear dumpster fire Your Toy, which LFLet forced himself to play through. This is his verdict. Your Toy is the worst game on Xbox One, and comes close to being one of the worst games of all time on any console. I can tell you he hasn't played Albedo, Eyes from Outer Space. LFLet in turn had me play the 360 survival horror classic Amy, generally considered one of the worst games on Xbox 360. Shu and Ice slid in from the side and played Rise of Insanity, not to be confused with the great Kinect bad horror game Rise of Nightmares. He had this to say about it.
I was actually pleasantly surprised by Rise of Insanity, though that may be because my expectations were pretty low going in. I definitely preferred it to the game it often gets its name mixed up with, Dying Reborn, which somehow becomes Reborn Insanity in people's brains. It's fairly limited in scope, with only a few locations repeated multiple times, and plays as more of a walking sim adventure, with horrific themes than anything that's outright scary. But I did enjoy the twisted story well enough, even with the very obvious twist at the end. Maybe I also didn't hate it quite as much as other people do, because I was spared the collectible glitch, so only needed to do a single playthrough. Sorry, Al.
Your toy is a 1 to 2 hour completion. Amy is estimated 10 to 12 hours on TA, with all achievements earnable in one playthrough if you play on the highest difficulty. And it is not backwards compatible, which is for the best. It's also only 200 gamer score, which is scary enough for many current achievement hunters. Amy was also a complete mess at launch back in 2011, which makes many old reviews not entirely applicable to the patched version I played in 2021. That said, Amy is a masterclass in bad game design. It is a slow-motion train wreck which totally deserves its reputation. You play as Lana, a woman who kidnaps the young girl Amy, an autistic child with supernatural powers. Lana and Amy is on a train when an explosion wrecks the city they are going through, and the pair wakes up at a train station where they find most people having turned into zombie-like creatures. Amy is creepy. Lana is creepy. Every single character, whether they are friendly or want to eat your face, are creepy in this game. Being a horror game, this is a positive, I guess. For a low-budget 360 game, the graphics are decent and the music is not the worst. The setting and story on a high level are actually interesting. However, the writing and voice acting are terrible. With one metaphorically broken arm, Amy juggles very unintuitive puzzle solving, extremely Yankee combat, and completely broken stealth, and frequently drops the balls. Navigating the levels is very difficult, as it is very unclear how you're supposed to progress, and important objects are not highlighted, making it very difficult to find what you're looking for. You'll also have to fight the camera and avoid getting stuck in a wall or other loose object. Halfway through the second level of 6, I had to resort to a guide and kept using it to the very end of the game. To make matters worse, the monsters and hostile soldiers roam the environment, and they are very difficult to deal with. Combat is melee only, and you can only carry one weapon at a time. Unfortunately, the weapons break after 1 to 2 fights, and you can't fight without a weapon. Unfortunately, you can never tell just how durable your weapon is going to be, and you have to figure it out by trial and error. What is also unfortunate is that once an enemy has spotted you, there is no escape unless you manage to kill it, with the exception being if you can manage to end the chapter. Checkpoints are few and far between, and they sometimes don't trigger, and considering how punishing the game is, you likely need tens of attempts for some checkpoints. Amy can be completed in less than an hour, but it will likely take you 10 times as long, even if you are following a guide. Imagine trying to be stealthy in high heels, dragging an autistic child through narrow monster-filled corridors. It is as easy as it sounds. To make matters worse, if you get too far away from Amy, Lana begins turning into a zombie. How long this process takes appears to be tied to whatever puzzle you have to solve, and is not consistent, and judging how long you have before you die is very difficult. Some part requires Lana to be close to turning into a zombie to avoid them attacking you. While you might make it past the zombies, you have to get back to Amy or use a syringe to stave off the infection, or you'll die. The final boss fight is called Redemption, but it should have been called Patience. It takes place on a rather large level, but the best way to kill it is to go back and forth between 2 mines next to the start of the level, outside of Dr. Evil's office. Letting the boss slowly walk towards you, get zapped by a mine, allowing you to slowly hit it once with a really slow attack, which sometimes don't connect. On hard you'll have to do this 10 times. If you let the boss hit you, you'll get stun locked until you die and have to do it all over again from the beginning. It's one of the most boring boss fights I've ever played. To make matters worse, it often glitches, as it did for me, and only awarded me the achievement for completing the game on hard and easy. I had to defeat the boss a second time to unlock the normal achievement. Does Amy deserves its reputation as one of the worst games on the 360? It sure does, but I doubt it would have been remembered as such without its pre-release hype. Pre-release, people were excited for Amy. They thought they were going to get a good survival horror game. The pre-release gaming press was positive, and the genre had practically no competition at the time. Amy's release trailer also makes the game appear way better than it actually is. The gulf between expectations and the final product was vast, increasing disappointment. In my case, I expected one of the worst games I'd ever played, and to my surprise, I enjoyed my time with it, as rage-inducing the gameplay and frequent bugs was. It is baffling how anyone ever thought it was a good idea to release the game in the state it is in. Even more so, they bothered to patch it after release. So bad it's good rarely apply to games. Amy is no exception. It is a fascinating game where almost every single hint of potential is squandered. Amy is never a good experience, but it is much better while following a guide. Despite being mostly linear corridors, it is so unclear how to progress, and Amy punishes exploration. A wrong turn usually leads to death, and the penalty for dying is steep, with long load times and usually many minutes of retracing your steps, as the checkpoints are few and far between. Stay away from Amy, Your Toy, and Albedo Eyes from Outer Space. Rise of Insanity is allegedly not the worst thing ever. Have a nice day, everyone.